Hello and welcome to Friday's bonus edition of Cracking the Cryptic, where we're continuing our Masterclass series, which we've been doing now for over a year, believe it or not. And today's puzzle, as usual for Friday, is apparently harder than usual. I had an email from my friend Robert Chewton telling me that it is a brilliant puzzle today. In fact, let's look at the stats. I think we can look at the stats without seeing the puzzle. Are there any? Well, actually, Robert is Zister there, so 1432, and Robert's a very good solver. Verlaine, current Times crossword champion, 1458. So yeah, that tells you it's difficult. Although Mystigris and Aphis 99 are real solvers as well. Although there aren't that many. Yeah, I mean, there's very few solvers. I am solving slightly earlier today. I have to go out early this morning, so I've got up and we're going straight into the puzzle. So it may be that I usually look a bit later, but anyway, let's get cracking and see how we get on. Here we go. Oh no, I've just remembered. I've got to say happy birthday to somebody today. Leslie, many happy returns. Pete and Chantel wanted me to wish you a happy birthday, which I think your birthday is tomorrow, but you normally watch it, well, Pete's email said that you normally he normally watches with you two parents. So could I wish you a happy birthday today? So I'm very happy to do that. Good luck with the house move that you've got coming up as well. Anyway, let's now do some solving. And I hope you have. No, I'm not sure you're getting chocolate cake. I'm all discombobulated. Anyway, one across. Seed. Just what's needed for bird. What's that getting at? Whenever I see bird in a cryptic crossword, always be aware that bird is a sort of slang term for a prison sentence. Seed, just what's needed for bird. I don't know. I was thinking roost for a moment. I don't understand what that one is. Let's have a look at one down. Never smart, supporting police force. Never smart, supporting police force. No, this isn't going well so far. Cosmetic, to remain on cheek. Okay, I have got this one. So, as usual, with any cryptic crossword clue, there's always a definition. It can be, it's normally at the start or the end. It can be the whole clue. And very, very, very occasionally it can be in the middle. But really, if you just think it's at the start or the end, you'll be on the right track. So here, the word we're looking for, the answer, means cosmetic. And then we need to think of a synonym for remain, and that needs to be on. Now, on in a down clue can mean on top of, but on in an across clue can literally mean next to. So we need then a short synonym for cheek, which could be at the start or the end of the word, and we're going to put a word for remain next to that. And the whole key to solving this clue is to know a short synonym for cheek. And they aren't. It's not cheek as in this. It's cheek as if you're cheeky, you show lip, and then lip. We're thinking of a cosmetic. You can use lipstick, and to stick obviously is to remain. And this should hopefully help us, because now we've got lots of starting letters. So let's have a look at this. Keen viewer having a right to enter box used by commentators. Keen viewer. Hang on a minute. Having a right to enter something. It looks like we're going to have to put A and R. Oh no, I have got this. It doesn't work the way I thought it was going to at all. And I have got this from thinking about putting A and R inside something. So I was trying to think of a word that might work if I put A and R inside this answer, and I thought of the word larynx. And I think that's right, isn't it? Because a larynx. Your voice box is your larynx, and that is something, if you're commentating, you're speaking aloud. So I think the answer is larynx, and the keen viewer is the lynx. I don't know, a lynx is particularly known for their sharp sight. I know cats are sort of proverbially, but we've basically got keen viewer, lynx, surrounding A and R. So having A and R to enter, I mean, it's very well phrased, that, because if you miss out the word having and read it as a right to enter box, then and this is where my mind was originally, you're going to have to put A and R in a word that means box used by commentators. So I was trying to think of a homophone for the word box. But yeah, the construction of the clue is absolutely fine, obviously. And that gives us, now we must be aware that we might be looking for a pangram. An early Y and an early X in the puzzle, and an early K indeed. Suspicious. 5 down. Chances are ultimately plentiful for new arrival at the periphery. A parvenu is sort of a new arrival, or an upstart. Chances are, perforce? No, ultimately plentiful. That sounds like the ultimate letter of the word plentiful, which would be L. Oh. I'm also wondering, ultimately plentiful for new could be a substitution. It could be saying replace. My phone's buzzing. It could be saying replace an N in a word with an L. Ultimately plentiful L for N, i.e. substitute L for N, but I don't know what that is. 6 down. I'm obliged, thanks. If you thank someone, you might say I'm obliged to you. So tar, maybe. Tahoe. Yeah, it is Tahoe. Okay. No, I saw lake. So I'm obliged, thanks, tar. If you weed a border in your garden, you hoe it. So Tahoe is the answer there. Very nice. 7 down. Likely persons taken unawares and worried. Okay, I don't know what this is, but I'd be very surprised if it doesn't end in ATE. And that's a bit of crossword ease. It's a good tip, actually. Worried, if you see it in a crossword clue, short synonym for worried. If something eats away at you, it worries you. So ate in the past tense, ATE, is a very good short synonym for worried. And obviously it ends so many words that the candidate, taken unawares, as the likely person, is that the candidate? Taken unawares, is that candid, really? I'm not sure it is, but it might be. The likely person. We want sort of the favourite, don't we? I don't know, I'm going to leave ATE in. Let's have a look at 11 across. Maybe miss return of Nazi-led demos. Okay. Yeah, it's a really clever clue. And my pangram thoughts are not maybe a million miles away here. So the clue surface seems to be talking about, not wanting to go to Nazi-led demos, which seems a perfectly reasonable sentiment. But the answer has nothing to do with that. So maybe miss is the definition here. But here we have to realise that miss doesn't mean to not attend. It means a girl's name, literally. A miss. So maybe miss is saying an example of a girl's name. Now, if you see clues that seem to have unusual strings of letters in them, be aware of two things. It's either likely to be an anagram. Now, the problem with this being an anagram is it's hard to find 5 letters that are, very easily or can be viewed as anagram fodder from return of Nazi-led demos. Nazi-led can't be an anagram indicator, so it's not going to be an anagram of demos. So, but it could also be, if specific odd letters have been used, it could be a hidden clue. So if I tell you that the answer is hidden in there, can you see it then? And if you look at the return, if we return, i.e. reverse, the string of letters Nazi-led, then those letters would demonstrate, so not demos, demonstrate, to demo is to demonstrate as well as to protest, E-L-I-Z-A, Eliza. Most famous in candidate still works. Most famous in crosswords, Eliza Doolittle, who dropped her H's as Henry Higgins, I think, chastised for. So there we go. Eliza is going to be right here. So candidate is still possible. Taken unawares. Are you candid if you're taken? If you're taken unawares, if you're candid, you're sort of truthful, aren't you? You're brutally truthful. I'm not sure. Now, what's going on in... Oh, this is a long answer. 8 across. Worthless, mushy stuff. Ooh, finally obtained free. Good for nothing. Feels right there. I haven't quite understood it yet, but it fits, and it has the quality of, a worthless person is good for nothing. Worthless, mushy stuff. Finally obtained... Oh, it's an anagram, actually. If something's worthless, it's good for nothing. And mushy is telling us to mash up letters. Stuff, finally, is the final letter of the word stuff, F. That's that F. And obtained free... Oh, no, I'm wrong, actually. That must be an anagram. It must be an anagram. I'm really confused. I mean, okay, no, I thought it was an anagram, but it's not, is it? I've got too many F's and things like that. Mushy stuff, alright, okay, I'm totally misleading you. Mushy stuff is goo, G-O-O. Stuff, finally. No, mushy stuff. Mushy stuff is goo. Finally obtained is D. It's the final letter of the word obtained. And if something is for nothing, it is free. And that gives us good for nothing. Goodness me. Oh, candidate. Oh, no. Well, I mean, it must be candidate. What else could fit there? I don't understand that. I mean, at the end of the puzzle, we'll have a look. And we'll look up the word candid and see if it means taken unawares. Yeah, I'm slightly surprised, but I think it's fine for the definition. It's just going to be my ignorance on knowing a particular meaning of the word candid. And then we've got, okay, so we've looked at this one here. Let's have a look at this. This might end in high or something like that. Never smart, supporting police force. Never smart. I wonder what the supporting in a down clue suggests, that some words or letters are supporting, they're underneath another set of letters. So I'll quite want to put a word for police force on the top of this one. Never. Yeah, so what can we think of a word that means, or a phrase that means never? No. No is the answer. Right, 2 down. Are Rovers under pressure in such a tournament? Are Rovers under pressure? Oh, by the way, we got the Z in Eliza. That's what I wanted to mention. Are Rovers under pressure in such a tournament? Like knockout, or it's obviously not knockout, but I think it's the name of a tournament. Are Rovers. It's quite clever as well. Are Rovers makes you think the clue's about Blackburn Rovers or something like that, a football team called the Rovers. But if you rove, you wander, don't you? So Are Rovers makes me think that the answer might be something to do with wandering about. Oh, under pressure. Oh, Pro-Am. Rome, yeah, that's lovely. That is a lovely clue. So under P can be a valid abbreviation for pressure. We do this every week. You can't just abbreviate any word in English to its initial in a cryptic crossword. It has to be supported by the dictionary. And over time, if you're new to these things, you may think, well, I'll never learn all these abbreviations. You really will. They don't take that long to learn. It certainly doesn't take long to know what could be an abbreviation. And pressure, certainly in sort of scientific formulas, that seems reasonable to think P might be pressure. And let's look at the dictionary. Quaff. Oh yeah, Mark and I was still arguing about whether quaffable was a playable word on Countdown. I think it is. Mark's not sure. Quaffo quaff, this kind Nepenthe, and forget the lost Lenore, quoth the raven, nevermore. So pressure was what we were looking up. Sorry, I've got distracted now. Where are pressure? There we go. So P, pressure gives us P for this one. And then Are Rovers, if you are Rovers is synonymous with the word roam, isn't it? If you do wander, you do roam. So and then a Pro-Am is, you might find that in golf especially, is a type of tournament. Have we looked? No, we haven't looked at 3 down. Let's try 3 down and then we'll go back to 1 across. Barriers, the reverse of substantial, weak and small. Barriers. The reverse of substantial, weak and small. I mean, I think this is going to be a word that's for barrier, or barriers, plural. And then it feels like we have to reverse a word for substantial, which I should be able to think of and can't. Weak is a weird one. I'll show you that. Weak, actually, can be abbreviated to W. Oh, hang on. Let's go to W to prove that. Not that spelling of weak. Weak, there we go. In physics, a W particle, or the W boson, can be abbreviated to W. Now, that is quite an obscure definition. It would be absolutely fine, or an obscure abbreviation. It'd be fine in the listener crossword, where anything goes in terms of abbreviations, but in the Times Cryptic, I'm slightly surprised if they do use W for weak. Small can be S as well. You might see that on, a t-shirt label. If it had an S in it, you would know it meant it was a small size. Barriers. I don't know. Let's try this one. We've got a P in it now. Oh, pip? Is it pipit? I mean, there's a bird called a pipit. A seed is a pip. Just what's needed. Is that it? It's the thing, isn't it? The quintessential thing. It. So I could imagine that being defined as just what's needed. And a bird, a pipit. Could be. And that would give us probably page here. Never smart. Supporting police force. I mean, what else could that be apart from page? Am I missing a simple word there? Pogo? I mean, I don't think it's going to be pogo stick. Pigs might fly. Oh, for goodness sake, Simon. Sorry, that is awful. Not getting that more quickly. So, never, I think, is the definition. If you say pigs might fly, you mean it'll never happen. If you're smart, you're fly, you're intelligent, and that's supporting. So we've got fly supporting pigs for police, and then force is might, as in strength. So pigs might fly. Very nice clue again. Really good clue. It seems to support pipit, doesn't it? And now we get a T. Oh, in our defence, barriers. Barriers are... Oh, I don't know, actually. The reverse of substantial. If you're fit, oh, fat. If something is substantial, it is fat, isn't it? So, barriers. So we need, I think it's going to end in S for small. And I need a 5-letter word now for weak. Frail. Taffrail, that's probably something. A taffrail. I don't know what a taffrail is. But I think I've seen it before in a crossword. So taffrail is certainly what I go for. In fact, I'm not changing that answer, so I will permit myself to look it up. Even if it's not in the dictionary, I will just get the puzzle wrong. Taffrail, there we go. The rail around the stern of the ship. Okay. Well, I thought it was something. I would have guessed something to do with railways rather than ships. But taffrail is obviously right there. So is this memoranda then? Notes, memoranda, yeah. Memoranda. So why is it this? Mostly recall, accompanying answer. Recall is your memory, isn't it? So most of the word memory is memor. Accompanying, a short synonym for accompanying would just be the word and, the conjunction. So that goes with an abbreviation for answer, A. Why is A an abbreviation for answer? Well, you might have heard of Q&A. No one would question what the A was there, would they? It's clearly question and answer. So that's why A can be answer. So memoranda is going to be right. Now let's keep going with these starting letters. 12 across. Stop seeing short, grotesque creature. I thought of gremlin immediately, but that's obviously the wrong number of letters. Stop seeing short, grotesque creature. Stop. Seeing short, grotesque. I haven't got this, obviously. Don't know what that is. I think we'll have to come back to it. 17 across. Keep rabbit. If you rabbit, you talk. Oh, well, talk shop. Rabbit connected to post. I mean, that sounds like talking connected to your work. Your post is your position at work, isn't it? So talk shop I quite like. Keep rabbit. I just don't know. I'm not sure I understand what the word keep is doing in the clue. Rabbit connected to post. Keep. I don't understand I really don't know what keep is doing in the clue there. But I mean, it's so good for the rest of the clue. Rabbit connected to post. And I don't think that the grammar quite works. If I put, could the whole thing be a cryptic definition? Keep rabbit connected to post. Not really. Keep rabbit doesn't mean... I mean, it's almost like it's a double definition. And there is a word for a keep called a talk shop. That might be true. I mean, I'm very confident this is right. I just don't quite understand the word keep in the clue there. Let's try that one first. Boy emptied ladleful round yard. So I haven't got this yet, but I think it's going to be the name of a boy. Emptied ladleful. Well, that seems very clear. It's saying empty out the word ladleful. Now, if we empty out a word, well, what are we left with? We're just left with the start and the end letters. So double L, that's going to go round. So I'm expecting this to be an L. A word for yard. No, I'm wrong. Okay. This is... I was nearly right, but I'm wrong. It is the name of a boy, and we do have to empty out the word ladleful. But this time, we're going to give double L. We're not putting it round anything. Something round is the letter O. So we're going to put that next, and then an abbreviation for yard is YD, and that gives Lloyd, which is a boy's name. Now you may say, that's ridiculous. How can round define the letter O? But if we look up the letter O in the dictionary, it is very closely defined, I think, as something round. Although, there it is, anything round or nearly so. So round here is really defining the letter O. And YD obviously can be abbreviated for an abbreviation for yard, as indeed can just Y, which is what I was initially thinking about. So Lloyd is going to be right. Let's keep using starting letters if we can. 21 down. Keeping low profile. Harry quit. Keeping low. I mean, Harry can be abbreviated to H. I say that, I'm trying to justify that in my brain. I mean, that's immediately where my brain went. And I can't quite think of why Harry is abbreviatable to H, but I think it can be. Keeping low. I don't know. I haven't got that one. Let's move swiftly on. 13 down. Party recalled destiny to fight case for democracy. Ballot box? Is that a case for democracy? I quite like it as a cryptic definition. Yeah, I think it's going to be ballot box somehow. A ball is a party, isn't it? Let's try see if we can justify ballot box. Recalled your destiny is your lot in life, isn't it? So party. Oh no, okay, it's the Labour Party. Lab, L-A-B. That is recalled, i.e. reversed, followed by destiny, lot. And if you fight somebody, you might box them, as in a boxing ring. So ballot box, case for democracy, beautiful definition. You know, because case for democracy, you're thinking about what is the sort of philosophical case for democracy, whereas actually it's the real physical case that gives rise to the democracy, the place where your democratic right is exercised. So what's this then? Goblin. Oh, it's goblin. Oh my goodness. How can I think gremlin and not think goblin? Oh goodness. That is awful again. I don't know why it's goblin yet. Stop seeing short. Go blind. Oh, that's very clever. If you go blind, you stop seeing, don't you? And then you shorten that phrase. And that gives us a grotesque creature, the goblin. Everyone's going to have got that before me. Never mind. Let's see if we can get this long one. What big year-round op sorted out? This must be an anagram. We haven't had many anagrams yet. What? I'm wondering if the definition is what. Big year-round op sorted out. Is that the right number of letters? How many do we need? 14. Yes, it is. So I think it's going to be an anagram of big year-round op, and it means what? I beg your pardon or something. It must be I beg your pardon. Yeah, that's beautiful. I beg your pardon. There we go. It's another clever clue, because it's very hard, unless you've done a lot of these, to think that the definition could be just the word what. I mean, it's so daft, isn't it? But if you do say what to somebody, what? You mean, I beg your pardon, I didn't hear you. So what's this one again? Oh, doggo. If you go doggo, you have a low profile, I think, that word. Right, I think keeping low profile is doggo. That is the definition. And then if you harry somebody, you badger them, you dog them, you tail them, don't you? You and then if you quit, you go. So doggo. And it's just a slightly odd word. I'm not changing my answer, so let's have a look. Doggo. Remaining quiet and hidden until it is safe. Yeah. To lie doggo. It's a weird word, isn't it? But it is a word, and I have seen it before, only in crosswords. Let's try this one. What do we think this is going to... Exponent, I'm going to go for. One demonstrating skill and power. Well, it is that. It's exponent. An exponent of something is somebody who shows skill at it, and a power, you might, if you raise something to the power of 2 or 3, the 2 or the 3 is described as the exponent in mathematics. So that's all looking good. Now, actually, let's just have a quick pause and think about what we haven't had so far as letters. We haven't had a J or a Q yet. So we'll be on the lookout for those. Let's try this one. What's this? It's going to be 1, is it? Style of football, long ball. A long time coming after defeat, route 1. Right. So again, the way I got to that, well, a style of football, I do watch a lot of football, so I am likely to get this one. But short synonyms for defeat, I'm very familiar with route. So we've got route. Whoopsie, let's actually put this in. How does the rest of it work? A long time is an eon. So we've got route, eon, and then E for English, which is a valid abbreviation. It won't surprise anybody to know. Let's try 19 down. Oh, should we do this one or 9? Let's do 19 down. R and R blank T at the end makes it seem gettable. Mount pictures a painter's put in. Okay, I haven't got this. Oh, no, I have now. Yeah, I have got this. So, but the way I got it was from a painter's put in, and it is very important to know that painter has a very common abbreviation in cryptic crosswords, and that is RA, believe it or not, Royal, and this is a word I can never say, Academician or something. Let's look up RA. Somebody, a member of the Royal Academy. Here we go. Oh, well, actually, Royal Academy of Arts as well, but Royal Academician. There it is. That is the justification for painter always being RA, or almost always. Sometimes you see Hal as well, who was a painter. So what we've got here is A, painter, A-R-A. So this A is important. Any good cryptic crossword writer, and this whoever wrote this puzzle is clearly a very good cryptic crossword writer, won't have anything superfluous in the clues. So mount pictures painters put in would mean the same, sort of syntactically almost, as mount pictures a painters put in. So why is that A there? It's there because it's necessary for the wordplay to work. And we have to put A-R-A in art, pictures, to give Ararat, Mount Ararat is what we're looking for here. 22 across. Reversal of spell after the first go, turn something. If you have a go at something, you have a turn, don't you? Reversal, turn. I'm thinking of turnabout. So what I'm thinking there is a reversal is a turnabout. And a spell, if you have a spell of illness, you have a bout of it. So I think the first go is turn A here. That's why this is a question mark. Turn A is not really a phrase, but turn A might be the first go if turn B was the second go, turn C was the third go, etc. So I think it's sort of punning on turn A could be the first go, and then bout for spell, and reversal is the definition. And of is a linking word. It's saying that we can create the answer turnabout from or of spell after the first go. So of functions here as an equal sign. I have a more mathematical bent, I think, and I think of cryptic clues very much in terms of mathematics. You know, A plus B equals C. In this case, A equals B after C. Now, what should we use now? What's this one? Should we have a go at this? Right, Paddington, no. City Inn's watchdog barking. What a beautiful clue. I haven't got a clue what it is. Washington, D.C. It is Washington, D.C. That is a beautiful clue. Wow. Wow. I mean, what? I mean, barking is so good there as an anagram indicator. And it's an anagram indicator because if something is barking, it's mad, isn't it? It's crazy. So we can say that the string of letters in's watchdog have gone crazy. Well, they're all over the place then, so they're being anagrammed. And the way the beautiful thing about this is watchdog is something that absolutely might bark. So it's a very natural anagram indicator in the context of the clue. City and a city inn, well, the Inns of Court, for example, are things that are absolutely in the city of London. So, you know, I mean, inns obviously could be taverns as well, but Washington, D.C., so it's the name of a city, and it's an anagram of Inn's watchdog. That's a worldy there, Washington, D.C. Now, we'll try that one now, 23 down. Ancient working, nurses led out. This isn't, okay, I have got this. Yeah, I mean, this is another very good clue. Ancient, so the clue is trying to make you think of ancient working nurses, so sort of really old nurses, you know, being led out of the hospital, you know, so tired. But actually, the way the clue works is we need to divide the clue after the word ancient. So we're looking for a word that means ancient. And then we're looking for a word that means a short synonym for working. And that's going to nurse. And if something nurses something, it sort of cossets it. It surrounds it. It holds it close within it. Led out. Well, that's an anagram of the word lead. So we put an anagram of lead. Well, see, or we would if I could type. In on, if something is on, it is working, and we get olden, which means ancient. Very good clue. Let's try this one. VAT is charged primarily for clothing. Okay, very, that's another brilliant clue. Often in cryptic crosswords, there is a sort of old adage that if you really are stuck, look at the bottom right of the puzzle, because the constructors probably got tired. You know, when you're doing the last acrosses and the last downs, you sort of don't really care about them. You just want to get the puzzle finished. I've been in that situation as a constructor many times myself. But actually, this bottom right is full of absolutely brilliant clues. So VAT is charged primarily. I mean, for clothing. I mean, it seems a natural sentence. But it isn't. VAT is not VAT here. It's VAT. And what's another name for a vat? It is a ton. T-U-N. Let's look at that. A ton, a large cask. I mean, it doesn't expressly list vat, but a vat is clearly if you have a vat of something, you have it's a large vessel. Yeah. So vat and ton are synonymous. Is charged primarily is saying take the first letters of the words is and charged. Okay, I and C. And tunic is an example of clothing. So that's going to be right there. Now, should we go for... Let's try this one. We did look at this one, didn't we? Chances are ultimately plentiful for new arrival at the periphery. Chances are probably would be the right part of speech. If you say probably, you do mean things are more likely than not, don't you? So chances are ultimately plentiful for new arrival. Oh, pro baby. Oh, that's great. Okay, so some of the ideas I had around this clue were totally wrong, but I now do understand it. Ultimately, plentiful is the ultimate letter in the word plentiful. It's this L. And then for new arrival at the periphery, well, at the periphery means on the edges of. So we need a word for. That's pro. If you're pro something, you're for it. And then an arrival. A new arrival is a baby. So we put pro baby at the periphery of the L to get probably, which means chances are. That's great. Now, so we've got 3 left. 14 across. Being hasty is blow to career. Being a slapdash. Yeah. If you're hasty, you are slapdash, aren't you? And then a blow is a slap. Then if you career somewhere, it's not talking about career as in your job. It's talking about if you career from place to place, you run sort of pell-mell, don't you? So slapdash is going to be right. And then what's this going to be? Play a part, maybe? Contribute something dramatic separately. Yeah, I mean that. Oh. Well, it must be that. I think it's just a cryptic definition, isn't it? If you contribute something dramatic separately, you do play a part almost literally. And then we just need this one, which is local Tennessee state visits. I'm thinking tavern for a local as in a bar or a pub. Tennessee. Oh, Tennessee is TN. Right, okay. I was trying to think what's the American states Tennessee's abbreviation. I was thinking it might be TE, but I think it's TN now, having understood the clue a bit better. So Tennessee is TN, and then we have a word for state. Now, if you aver something, you state it literally. Let's look that up. To aver is to declare to be true. It doesn't list state, but obviously state is synonymous with that. So we put aver in TN. So aver visits Tennessee. And that gives tavern. So I think that's going to be... Is there anything there that we're not sure? Well, candidate is actually what I'm not sure about. That's the one I'd be most worried about. And we didn't get a Q, did we? Or a J. Let me just read this one again. Likely persons taken unawares and worried. Taken. Likely person. You see, I bet there are other words that fit here. Maybe I should just give this another thought. I've got a bad feeling that I'm missing a trick on this clue. Taken unawares. See, it could well begin C-O-N, couldn't it? Likely person is the I can only see, my brain will only now allow me to see this as candidate, which is so annoying. Naughty brain. I'm not thinking of it. I mean, I'm not coming up with another. And candidate is very good for the definition. It's probably this, that I just don't know the right meaning of candid. I think this is what I'd submit, so let's go for that. We'll do it without leaderboard. Please don't be wrong. Oh, it was right. That's good. Okay, so now we need the dictionary to help us. Why is candid right? Frank, unrehearsed, unbiased, ingenuous, taken unawares. I mean, candid camera, yeah, okay. I mean, maybe that's... So, candid camera... That was taking people unawares, wasn't it? Unrehearsed. Informal. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's fair. It is fair. It's just... It's just, I suppose, the way I would ever use candid would not be in that way. And therefore I found it difficult to justify, but I think the dictionary does justify it. Let's check. I want to look at talk shop, and in case that is something, if that's an actual thing as opposed to a phrase. Talk shop, to talk about one's own business. Yeah, that's what we understood. Shop talk is there. But talk shop isn't there as a thing, is it? So that clue, 17, keep rabbit connected to post. Keep. I think I'm missing a trick there. I think that clue is probably cleverer, even cleverer than I'm realizing. I mean, it's if that word keep can be justified cleverly there, then that is another brilliancy, that clue, because keep rabbit connected to post, it conjures up this image in your head, you know, of a pet rabbit being tied to a post, and yet the clue is so different from that, the answer. So it is a brilliant puzzle. Robert was quite right. Ballot box was beautiful. There's an awful lot to admire in this one. It is a quintessentially good Times crossword. Washington DC is a worldie. Let me just... was there anything else we wanted to look up? We looked up taffrails. I'm just going through it now. I'm probably going to miss one that I wanted to look up, but didn't. No, I can't see anything. So hopefully that is a reasonable run through, and I will leave it to chat to explain what I've missed about the word keep in this one. But yeah, I really enjoyed that. It was such a good crossword. And let me know in the comments how you got on. Especially, we love hearing stories about how people have actually managed to, you know, acquire skills at solving these puzzles from watching these videos. It gives us a lot of pleasure. So thank you for watching. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.